characteristic of ideal meditator who is going to benefit by practice of mindfulness meditation. In order to benefit from the practice of mindfulness meditation, certain conditions are necessary. Buddha himself mentioned those conditions quite frequently. Among some important things which a meditator needs are the conditions that a meditator should fulfill. Practice of meditation is like learning in the school, studying the relevant subjects based on one's grade. Even though all the students are in the same class, although they receive the same guidance and read the same textbooks, some made real progress, some don't make progress. This depends on various factors. Some students, they study attentively, consistently, and trying to follow every explanation and instruction of the teacher. Some students, they just only go to school as a casual duty without serious commitment, without a keen desire to progress, to learn. Such students with a lukewarm interest and non-serious interest will not make progress. But in an exception case, if some students are gifted with very high memory power, they can still be successful, even though they don't study seriously. At last minute preparation, they can do, but it is very hectic. In the same way, some meditators, they practice meditation with keen interest and commitment, consistency, and discipline and determination in their practice. They attentively listen to the instruction. They follow the guidance, and they make some considerable progress. Some meditators, they also do the same thing with a serious interest, but they cannot balance themselves. And so they don't make real progress. But we don't have to disappoint as a meditator. You don't need to disappoint. Your practice will slowly lead you on the path of progress. Now let me explain what Buddha has said. The ideal meditator who is going to progress on the spiritual path has certain conditions. First of all, he must be free from grave sins. In this case, grave sin means grave evil act, killing one's own mother, killing one's own father, killing a saint, enlightening noble one, and causing bruise in the Buddha's body, and causing breakup in the monastic community. All of you are totally free from such kind of grave sin, because there's no way for any of you to get involved in such kind of severe thing. These are called the 5 great sins in Buddha's teaching. There may be some people in today's world who may have done some crime with a certain degree of seriousness, even though they may have committed crime once in a while based on their ignorance and based on their emotion. They can repent and they can rectify their character and they can improve their mental states and trying to get over through the remorse and guilt. There are quite interesting explanation regarding how to deal with the guilt and remorse in Buddhist text. So all of you are free from this, so you don't need to worry about that. And the second condition is a meditator needs to be free from orthodox, very strong, fanatic religious belief or personal belief, such as rejection of the benefits of good deeds, wholesome action, and the consequence of unwholesome action, and rejection of the existing of those kind of the moral laws, and rejection of the existing of the future lives, etc. In Buddhism, this is called the Natika, and Natika deity, Ahituka deity, Akriya deity. Natika means rejection of all the guru-based deeds and their consequence, and then also the consequence of the evil action. There's no karma, there's no result, and there's no future life. Ahituka deity means no cause and no effect. Human life is just only happening by accident, by chance. So just enjoying this life. Once a person dies, there's nothing beyond it. It doesn't accept any cause or effect. Agriya deity means one doesn't need to do any kind of wholesome meritorious deed or unwholesome deed. Whatever you do it. We don't need to worry about it, the consequence of that action, because there's no future life. Life is only by here, by this present condition. Once it is finished, it is finished forever. So such kind of thoughts, which are extreme, can hinder the spiritual path. I'm sure most of you don't have this kind of stuff. In today's world, among major belief systems, there are also some religions which restrict their followers from exploring other belief systems, let alone accept it. if someone follows or explores those kind of religious traditions, and if he try to practice it, then he's no longer a believer. He will be in the hell as a result of his action. Being doubtful of one's religion is equated with doctrine, being a heathen. So they strictly bar and prohibit their followers from getting involved with the other beliefs. This kind of extreme view is not proper condition, especially if the Meditator himself holds such kind of view. There's nothing true except our own belief, our own faith. Others are false, which can lead to hell, etc. In Buddhism, there is no such restriction. Human beings born free, they can think freely for the good of themselves. There's a lot of religious freedom in Buddhist texts. There's no narrow restriction or confinement to disciples. They can study, they can explore, they can practice whatever is beneficial and profitable for them. They can apply it in their daily life. So anyone with the extreme view which reject cause and effect, which reject the consequence of good intention, wholesome deed, and evil deeds, is not the right meditator. He will not make progress unless he gave up. And the third condition is a person need to be born with the right condition, right mental condition, and right physical faculties. In Abhidhamma terms, it is called Duhe Duga Ahe Duga Patisandi. This is a technical term. It means that a person born with two wholesome roots or no wholesome root conception consciousness cannot be benefited from practice of meditation. What kind of people are these people? These people are those who are suffering from certain disability, such as autism or deaf mute, who cannot speak, who cannot learn, who have learning capabilities. Those who are born in the lower ring of existence, such as the animal, even some demons, they cannot make progress. Divine beings can make progress. Human beings with the right mental conditions can make progress, who are capable of knowing things as they truly are, who can understand arising and passing and cause and effect, etc. And The other person is called the one who doesn't have, who lacks faith in the Dhamma and the Buddha. This means that a person who doesn't have sincere faith in the Buddha and the Dhamma cannot progress. But this does not mean he need to convert in order to benefit from his mindfulness meditation practice. Buddhism does not force anyone to convert, because meditation or the teaching of Buddha is like the food and the medicine. In order to benefit by eating of the food, you don't need to breathe the food. No one will ask you to convert in order to eat the food. If you go to a restaurant, you can go to any restaurant, Italian restaurant, a Greek restaurant, Middle Eastern restaurant, Asian restaurant, European restaurant. The best food you prefer, you can go eat anywhere. The Dhamma has no restriction. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though you don't have faith yet in Buddha's teaching, you can try and you can follow instruction and guidance as you were instructed. Then you will still benefit. This condition makes only serious those who totally lack even open mind attitudes. And the other one, the fifth condition is called the one who doesn't have desire or wish to make progress in one's meditation. This is very clear and self-evident. And everything we do, we need to have positive mental quality, positive mind, a wish to complete and to achieve, a wish to succeed in what one is doing. This is quite acceptable. And number 6, the one who lack even basic level of knowledge and capacity to distinguish between good and bad, right and wrong, etc. If a meditator has one of these 6 conditions, he will not make progress in the practice. This is what Buddha has mentioned in one point of that discourse in Buddhist text. Now I'm going to explain other 5 conditions which may be quite familiar to all of you, because the meditation teacher sometimes will mention about those conditions. The conditions of an ideal meditator who is going to make progress, who is going to be benefited by practice of mindfulness meditation. These conditions are set by the Buddha in a discourse called the Praniyanga Sutta. Praniyanga Sutta is a very interesting discourse. Praniyanga means Praniya Inga, a combination of 2 words. Praniya means a meditator. Inga means components of a meditator. Sutta means a discourse on the component of the meditator. These component parts are like conditions, but not compulsory. As I already mentioned, if you have seriousness and you are such for your something that will provide you benefit and good, this serious interest itself, it will be a very wholesome and positive condition to progress, regardless of which kind of religious belief you belong to, which kind of idea you hold on to. You need to have a very open mind and open attitudes to explore, to search a path, a spiritual path that will make your life more livable and more complete. Meditation is just only spiritual part. It's not restricted to only Buddhist devotees alone. Basically, you have to understand this. As I already explained you, the Dhamma and the Buddha's teaching is like the medicine and like the food and like the best daily do. It has no restriction. In the Brahmanyanga Sutta, Buddha explained the conditions of a meditator who is going to be benefited by his practice. Buddha said, Benji mani bekwe Brahmanyanga. Monks here are five component conditions of a meditator. Karmani Panja, what are those five? Ida Begwe Ria Saugo, Sato Hodi, Saturday, Tathagata Bodhi. Here in this world, a meditator believes in enlightenment of the Buddha. Here, the enlightenment is English. In Pali, it's called the Bodhi. Bodhi means the knowledge, super knowledge, extraordinary knowledge, by means of which a person transcends the influence of the defilements, the influence of the negative mental states, so that his life becomes a liberated life. His mind becomes a liberated mind. His intellect becomes totally liberated mind. In this case, liberation and enlightenment is not something set in the lip, in the mouth. It comes from the deepest level of the consciousness. Enlightenment is saying is the one who is enlightened, whose intellect and whose mind is enlightened and being set free from constant notions of I am me. We hold on to this I am me for all our lives. Even people were born, even while we were in mother's womb. In Buddhist day, it's said, we have been holding this view of I am me for all countless lives. This view is like the time itself. There's no beginning of time. There's no end of time. The time itself is a very cyclic experience, a cyclic concept. You cannot show time on terms of physical tangibility. You just only show the time by numbers, by the dial of the clock. They exist in conceptual level. We need to use the time, what it is, and how long you have been living, etc. We need it. We cannot do away with it. But at the same time, we have to understand the emptiness of it. Once you know that, you will be happy. You no longer hold on to those things which cause you so much disappointment and so much sadness. when you are to be separated from him. That's what Buddha's teaching means. It will set you free. It will set your mind and your intellect free. So let me continue to explain. Here in this world, one believes in enlightenment of the Buddha. Buddha has attained perfect enlightenment. As a result of perfect enlightenment, he also endowed with 9 attributes. Idibi Savagovaraham Sama Sambuddho Vajjadrana Sampano Sugado Loka Vidu Anodara Purisadama Sarati Satadi Vamnusanam Buddho Bhagavati. Our Buddha has attained perfect enlightenment. As a result of his attainment of enlightenment, he also endowed with the unique 9 attributes to be counted in the following manner. Arahant, the one who is perfectly pure from all defilement, the one whose mind, whose power and bodily conducts are always unstained and pure, both in the presence of people and the absence of the people, the one who always remains pure and holy, so that he the respect and admiration of not only human beings, but also divine beings who can see from high above how Buddha is conducting himself in the secret, in his privacy, not doing any unwholesome, any untoward things. This is the meaning of the word Arahant. It's very profound meaning. Sama Sambuddha means the one who perfectly enlightened by his own intuitive wisdom without help from external agents. The one who knows the truth as it is. The one who possesses all-knowing knowledge, super knowledge called the Savinyuta Jnana. Sometimes this word is translated as omniscient knowledge. It is just only a mental capacity, the power of the mind. Buddha's mind is always calm, pure, unagitated, and non-discursive. How Buddha remained calm and peaceful? There was a sutta recorded in Buddhist text. In that sutta, everything about Buddha's daily conduct, daily bodily behavior is recorded in detail. If you have a chance to listen to it or study it, you will be very amazed. Buddha was kept under surveillance for 7 months by a young man who keep close watch on Buddha's movement, except on 2 occasions when Buddha retired into his private chamber to rest. When Buddha went into bathroom to answer the call of nature. At the other time, the guy is following Buddha day and night. Then he found nothing untoward, nothing unrespectable. The way Buddha look at things, the way Buddha talk with the people, the way Buddha deal with the people, the way Buddha walk into the city, the way Buddha eat, the way Buddha dress himself up. He just look everything in detail. He became convinced this is not ordinary person. This is a very extraordinary, special person, blessed with a very wonderful, amazing conduct. So he reported all his findings to his teacher. And his teachers too became the disciple of the Buddha. That teacher is not ordinary guy. He's 120 years old. Buddha is only 35 when he attained perfect enlightenment. He just only a young guy. Buddha's name, Buddha's fame is spread all over Indian subcontinent during that time. There are many wealthy people, many intellectual, educated, highly educated people belonging to upper class of the society. The moment they hear the news, they don't want to approach the Buddha based on hearsay. They want to make sure this is the real teacher, the real person who has respectable qualities, both in and out, in the front of people, in the absence of people. So they made sure, and they found out Buddha is a wonderful person. So they become disciple of the Buddha. So Arahant is a very much wonderful word, which symbolizes purity and holiness of the Buddha. Buddha's mind, especially Buddha's consciousness. Sammasambuddha is the second attribute which symbolizes enormous mental power, known as Savinyuddhanyana, omniscient knowledge, the ability to know things, the ability to know truth, which transcends time, which transcends all the physical barrier and geographic distance. And Vajrasarana Sampanno, and Buddha possesses 3 super wisdom, super knowledge, and 8 super knowledge. Maybe some of you may heard about those kind of things. I want to keep short. So Sukado, Buddha is blessed with the unique attribute of the being a good, wholesome speaker who speak only wholesome, beneficial, truthful words. The words said by Buddhas are recorded in 3 Pitaka's and 5 Nikayas. All those books are very wonderful. Buddha touched on many topics during 45 years of life. If you are quite well versed in Pali, you will see Buddha a very wonderful teacher, a very profound thinker, a very realistic person, and also a very eloquent speaker, and very poetic speaker, and also very good, very skilled, unmatched storyteller. Storyteller means Buddha, when Buddha mentioned about the previous life's incidents, he talked about his past life experience in the text called the Charaka stories. Those are also very wonderful stories and wonderful incidents, full of wonderful morals and lessons, moral lessons and real life lessons. So you will not even believe how a person within such a short time can speak such a wonderful, deep words, full of wisdom, full of practicality, and full of their good consequence, etc. This is what the word Sukdo means. Lokavidu means the knower of the world. To briefly explain this word, Buddha knows both internal world and external world. Internal world means an individual being. External world, Buddha mentioned briefly about that. There are countless world systems. The world we live in is just only a speck on the boundless space, very insignificant speck on the boundless infinite space. There are many, many other world systems. The world systems are endless. Buddha mentioned in Buddhist texts. I just only briefly share what Buddha has said regarding the world and the universes. Anodra Buddhisa Dhammasadi means fearless teacher of not only human beings, but also divine beings and deities. Buddha, the one who knows 5 things that should be known. the one who knows the Four Noble Truths, and the one who knows all spiritual paths to attain lasting peace and happiness and freedom from suffering. And the nine attributes are called Bhagawa. It means the one who possesses six glories, spiritual powers. I just only briefly explain. The Meditator trusts in the Buddha that Buddha has attained perfect enlightenment. As a result of attaining of perfect enlightenment, he also possesses these nine unique attributes. For all of you, you don't need to understand these nine attributes unless you are quite familiar with Buddha's teaching. If you are outside of Buddhism, it doesn't mind. It doesn't matter. You will progress if you have serious interest and a desire to progress in your practice. That's what I want to say. Buddha said these words as a perfect condition of an ideal yogi. Now, the second condition is regarding good health. Buddha said in the discourse, Abba bado hoti abba tingo, sama vipakiniya ganiya, samanagado nadi sitaya nichonaya, mijimaya branakamaya. It means that a meditator needs to have good condition. In this case, his digestive system must not suffer from indigestion or any disorder. He must have good digestive tract that can easily digest, neither too hot, neither too cold. If a person with a strong heat, the food will be quickly digested, and he will be hungry the whole day. If a person's digestive heat is weak, he will have big problem, bloating of the stomach and gas problem and other digestive tract related problems. Basically, why Buddha mentioned about that? Digestion is the basic of the being in good health. If our digestive tract is in poor, unhealthy state, our overall health will be not good. That's why Buddha mentioned about that as a basic rule. Generally, if you have just walkable health condition, which can let you practice meditation without any obstacle, then it can be said you have this condition. Now, number 3 condition. Adato di amayawi. Uzuzadiko. Yada Buddha Adana Awigada. Tadriwa Winyuzuwa Sapima Charizu. This means that a yogi, a meditator, should be honest with himself, with the teacher, with the co-meditators. What does it mean? He must be able to report his meditation experience without hiding or without glossing over, which is not true. He must only report what he experienced. If you can practice sitting and walking meditation as scheduled, he must be able to report it. During every session of the meditation, all the experience, especially some of the notable experience, should be reported. This way, the teacher can give meditator correct guidance, and teacher can make correct assessment of the meditator. This is the third condition. In Buddha's time, Buddha himself is meditation teacher. He monitored the monks, even though he is not nearby. In case a meditator is making advanced progress and about to attain path and fruition knowledge, and Buddha knows from distance, from his place. What Buddha used to do is sometimes he just give instruction from distance by means of the Obasa Kata. Obasa means light. Kata means words. Words that are preceded by bright light. A meditator see the bright lights being beamed into toward him, like you try to shine the bright light towards someone or something. And the Buddha's voice come along with the light. He hear Buddha's instruction very clearly. He progress. He might progress quickly. Sometimes Buddha goes there personally by himself, by means of the psychic power. He immediately appeared near that person. In case of the Venerable Moggallana, Buddha go there to give instruction. When Venerable Sona, a very well-known disciple of the Buddha, is disappointed during his meditation, thinking that, oh no, I should give up my practice. I'm in very hardworking, I know myself. I'm one of the hardworking disciples. Despite my great effort, I cannot make progress. Maybe I have no paramis in my past life. I better give up and go back to my layman's life. He thoughts about it. Buddha knows Venerable Sona's thought. So he immediately appeared near the Venerable Sona. And Venerable Sona paid respect to Buddha. Buddha said, Sona, I was thinking about giving up. Yes, Pandit. Yes, Lord Buddha. Then Buddha said, are you familiar with the playing of the music by means of using harp? Buddha knows Venerable Sona is interested in music. Before he became an ordinary monk, he used to play music because he is a wealthy man. He doesn't need to worry about his business. So Venerable Sona was like, yes, but yes, Lord Buddha, I'm skillful at the playing of the harp. So let me ask you, in case the string of your harps are too loose, and then when you play, what will happen? Well, no sound, no melodious sound will come because the tension is too loosened. So there's no proper amount of tension of the string. Okay, then if you tighten your strings of the harp, and can you play? Will it make a melodious sound? No, Lord Buddha. Then Buddha said, Sona, practice of meditation is like this. You must not make too much effort. You must not put too much effort into practice. Or you must not totally suspend the effort. You must make balanced effort, balanced mental focus. Only when you are able to balance your necessary energy of the mindfulness and concentration and effort, you will progress. Then Buddha made the point, and so now follow Buddha's skillful guidance. He attained perfect enlightenment. So Buddha is a very wonderful teacher. He used very skillful method and strategy. And every way he teach for everyone, based on their characteristic and preference and inner tendency. That's why Buddha is a very wonderful teacher who can always lead and guide to disciple to the path of freedom successfully. That's what it means in Nubrabu Satama Satadi Amnusana and Buddha and Bhagawa. So these 9 attributes are very wonderful qualities of the Buddha. As a meditator, you don't need to know everything. You just only need to have sincere trust in the power of the Buddha and the enlightenment of the Buddha. And also having workable health conditions and also sincerity with your meditation practice when you are reporting to the teacher. Now, the fourth condition is Arada Viryo Virdi Akuslanandamana Bhanaya Kuslanandamana Upa Samraya Tamawa Danla Bragamo Anikita Duro Kusledu Tamesu. A meditator must be prepared to make necessary effort to remove unwholesome mental states, unwholesome conditions, bowel and bodily condition, unwholesome mental condition, to increase wholesome mental states and wholesome bowel and bodily conditions. This is not difficult condition. The moment you start practicing meditation, you are fulfilling this. Every moment of noting, every moment of your mindful observation is removing of unwholesome things, unwholesome mental states from happening. Even if they happen, even if they occur in your mind, such as a desire or confusion, of anger, you note it. You don't claim it as your own anger, as your own desire. You just view it as like the way you see stray dogs coming to your house door. Then you will be able to let go of that anger. If you're trying to own that anger, oh, I'm angry because someone did me something in such and such a year. How bad he is, because you are thinking this continuously based on your notions of your condition, permanent notion of I am me. So you got angry. And then you try to own that anger, try to identify that anger with yourself. Me, my anger. Then meditation will be very difficult. Remember, when you are doing morning walking exercise in a big, very nice park, you just walk freely, enjoying freedom. You just breathe in very fresh morning air, full of oxygen, free from any pollutant, because no guy coming out of the house, no traffic on the roads. You breathe in gladly, you breathe out gladly. You don't hold on to that air. This air belongs to me. You never have this kind of attitude. You simply let go. You simply welcome it into your nostril. You simply let go when you exhale. You have no attachment to it. How wonderful that feeling is. You are prolonging your life by breathing in healthy air, fresh air, breathing out that healthy air without attachment. Trying to live the way you breathe in, you breathe out that fresh air. Your consciousness is wonderful energy that makes you alive, that make you live longer life. If you can keep this kind of right mental attitude, your mindfulness meditation will be very smooth and progressive. It's very interesting to have the right attitude. Buddha always said, having the right attitude is everything. If you have right attitude, right mental condition, you can be successful in everything you do. Right attitude in Buddhist style is called Yoniso Manasikara. So every moment of noting, every moment of mindfulness is removing of the unwholesome thing and increasing wholesome conditions. You don't need to intentionally fulfill this condition. Now let me continue to explain the remaining words said by Buddha. Tamawa. A meditator must have dynamism. Tama means dynamism. Wa means have. A meditator should have dynamism. Dynamism means you must not remain passive. This does not mean you have to make intentional effort and force yourself too much. Don't force yourself too much. Your mind needs very skillful persuasion. Sometimes it will resist during your practice. You must know the mind is very resistant and always complaining about this and that. You must be able to observe that complaining mind, that mourning mind, always protesting, resisting. You must be able to observe that mind. Like the way you have the right attitude to the fresh air, you breathe in, fresh air, you breathe out. Let it come, let it go. This is the way true enlightening persons say attitude is. The attitude in the mental state of the enlightening saying is like that. He just simply let things come and let things go. Things usually come and then those coming things usually go. They never stay forever. The next word means danla pragmo. Danla means strong and fixed. Pragmo means sustained effort. A meditator must make sustained effort, steady and sustained effort. He must be consistent in his practice, except in times of taking rest, except in times of giving rest to his entire mind, entire body. And another word is anikita duro kusledu dhamesu. Anikita duro means anikita means not drop. Dura means responsibility. A meditator must not drop or must not ignore that duty to practice meditation, especially in this case, in fulfilling wholesome condition. Practicing meditation is increasing wholesome mental states and wholesome mental conditions. You are already fulfilling these conditions. The moment you take a precept, you are fulfilling to increase your wholesome bowel and bodily condition. Precepts are restraining tool to purify our bowel conduct and bodily conduct. Purification of bowel conduct and bowel unwholesome condition, unwholesome bodily condition is through moral precepts, not through meditation. Meditation is for spiritual purification, to increase wholesome, pure mental states. So you are already fulfilling these wholesome conditions to be inside your inner being. Now, the fifth condition, Buddha said, Pinya wa hoti udiyata gaminiya pinyaya smanagato ariyaya nebedikaya samadukakya gaminiya. Very interesting words said by Buddha regarding this fifth condition. The fifth condition means that a meditator needs to have basic capacity to know what arises and what disappears. So he must be able to distinguish the arising and passing of the things. This will not happen for ordinary non-meditator person, because a non-meditator person always view himself, I am the same person from the moment my mother gave birth to me. I will remain the same person. He had this view based on eternity, based on permanency, because he want to remain alive permanently in this world as a human being. He doesn't understand. His stay in this life is not like the way one is granted a permanent resident green cards or American citizenship. Being a human being is a temporary privilege we are going to be here. We don't want to accept that our bodies, our minds are constantly undergoing this consistent nature of arising and passing. We cannot accept it. Especially those non-meditators cannot accept it. Only meditators can see this arising and passing. And the moment they see this arising and passing, they know this is the truth. This is real. This is unescapable, unavoidable. Every moment they arise and it passes. Once the person understands that, he can slowly reduce his attachment and his ego. This way, he developed noble wisdom. Ariyaya means, that's what it means, Ariya, noble. Nebedikaya, penetrating, the ability to penetrate. This insight knowledge, this capacity to know rising and passing, can penetrate very thick, very heavy layer of illusion and ignorance. And Sama Dukkakaya Gaminiya, this basic insight knowledge can lead to ending of all suffering, cycle of suffering in this life and the lives to come, in the journey of life as well as on this spiritual part. So, development of insight knowledge can have only for a meditator who has this basic capacity of seeing, arising, and passing. You already have this kind of capacity. So please be assured, please be glad that you have these conditions, these five conditions, so you can make progress. If you have desire, if you have keen interest, if you make sincere effort, and this spiritual part known as mindfulness meditation, may all of you be able to penetrate through the thick layer of ignorance, see what it is in both mental phenomena and physical phenomena. May you attain spiritual bliss and happiness and freedom from suffering.